How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to talk about Glitch Punk 2077. Oh, sorry, I meant Cyberpunk 2077.
That was actually pretty good. Uh, yeah, it's that game. Been talked about for the past months. It's unfortunate people that purchased this game. Uh, yes, we're gonna be going into Cyberpunk.
Where where do we even begin is the
It's,
question.
it's
I
too
don't know if we
it's
should
too
just start
much.
from the top with I don't know if we should just start from the top with the glitches or if we should just talk about the bugs or if we should just go straight into the score, man. Because I'm pretty sure everyone who's listening to this right now already knows where this is placed in the score.
Yeah. Let's just start with the few good parts about
Let
this
let
game. Let's just go
yeah,
with
you know
that.
what?
Let's
Let's
go.
just go with let's just go with the good and just talk about the story.
There's gonna be some good to this, not a lot, tiny bit, but we're gonna get to some good parts about this game. The story is fun. This concept of the story, how they went with it, is fun to play. The choices of character you can go with. Um, I'm guessing from what I've seen on online a lot. There's supposed to be a fourth one. It's probably going to come out later on. I think it's one of the DLCs that was supposed to come out, but with everything that happened with the game, who knows when that's going to happen. Anyway, the different characters choices you get is cool. You got Nomad, you got a high professional, and then you got the tech spoiled kid kind of thing in the middle. Um, but it's still each one of those has their own little unique part in the story when you have conversations with characters and all. Um, you got the nice little open world, which is actually great. Great add to this game because you have different things to do in this open world.
The city, I gotta say, the map makes the city look really small.
It does.
So
It's
when
agreeable.
when traversing in the city, it's fairly large. The one thing that sucks about the city is it's large, but one of the things that is a question is like certain locations that look like they should be populated are empty as a ghost town.
And in certain places that should be populated are kind of like overpopulated. Yeah,
Overly populated and like okay, the main part of the city I get it. Like in Night City, I get that it's populated. Like it's like being in New York City. It's overly populated, it's overcrowded. It's you can't even walk down the street in New York City without having someone right up on your ass. Like that's how big cities are. But like you get into the other areas out and you adventure outside of Night City, like some of these cities are way too underpopulated when they obviously look like they should be. Outside of that, um,
there
the
is a lot.
other cool part is the variety of different cars.
Yeah, yeah, cars. You also got a lot of activities you could do throughout the
That
city.
to be honest, that could be good and bad. Here's why a lot of activities are great and bad. A lot of activities are great for people who like to get achievements. The bad to it is they don't incentivize it. You can literally play this game without playing any of the activities, and you can just play the story and not even do an activity and still beat the game.
It's true. It's true. I do suggest that if you are a parent and you have a young child, please do not buy this game for them. This is a very mature game. Just
Yeah,
adding.
anyone listening to
This
this,
is just this
if
a
you have a
warning.
kid, if you have a kid under the age of 18, please do not buy this game for them. Stay away for this type of game. Please go buy them something else, something a little bit more for their age group. This is really meant for an adult and adult only. There are some stuff in this game that a kid should not see or be exposed to at a young age. whether or not they've already been pre-exposed.
Yes,
This
you got a lot, couple things in this game that are really adult themed. I mean, you have as you would probably say, street sex therapists, just to put it kindly. Um,
there's more than that. There's this game has smoking, it has drugs,
as
it has
do as
alcohol, it
nudity and
has
as a
nudity.
lot of foul language in this game. This game is a this game is really an adult game. This is an adult game for adult people.
There there is sex toys everywhere. Okay, now that we have the disclaimer out for all the adults, we also suggest that if you are going to play this, make sure your kids are not in the room.
Yeah, this is a game where you don't want, especially a young child, to walk into and then all of a sudden they're asking you some awkward questions about what the heck you just saw on the screen, and then you have an awkward little silent moment with them, but you don't know what to say to them. Just we want to avoid that. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of activities and stuff in the open world that have some very slendom stuff that actually has to go with the main missions, but mostly you can go play the story throughout and not do any of the activities at all. Um,
Character here this also kind of goes um under the good. Character customization is so in depth compared to most of its category. When you think of the character customizations that's in here, it's way more in depth than Saints Row. I can't even think of all the games where you can actually customize completely on your character. But the character customizations are incredible.
yes, they are very in depth, which is also again another reason to be careful with young children around when you're playing this game because customization does get very detailed. Even very detailed. I just go with that. Um, so the detail though is incredible. It's so much detail when you customizing your character. It's just incredible. You
You
get
can go all the way from like cheekbones to your nose, the eyes, the hair, different types of markings, all the way down to your female parts and your man parts.
yeah, and
It literally,
they do go by that saying the
you can also
size
customize your
does count. Size
nails.
does count. So if you want the size of your manlyhood to be to your liking, you can do that as well. Um, and
The
it
cars, that's the only okay, outside of that, there's actually a few things that kind of suck about customization. Okay, outside of your character customization, since we're already in that conversation, um after you've already customized your character, there's no locations to change any of your looks after you've already completed them. So essentially what you have, yeah, that's another issue for another day. But this game's in first person, so who the f cares about whether or not your character needs to be changed or not? Yeah. At the same time, for some people, they actually want their character to look different.
I mean, yeah, some of the clothing you do pick up and stuff does change. Like let's say the hairstyle that you chose when you first started the game. If you wear certain hats and stuff, it does change the look of your hair. Um, say unless you went with a very short hairstyle, even though sometimes the hat does change that to you actually having hair when you actually may only have like a very short cut on top of your head. Sometimes it actually does give you hair on the it. You really did not um iron that out very well. You didn't really smooth that part out to where
Yo, we're not even hitting glitches yet.
we're not
Look,
even hitting glitches. This is just a minor thing for not minor, but it does kind of annoy you when you like why did you do that to my hair when you're not expecting that to
or you
happen,
go up to the mirror and you're butt ass naked.
or it'll do that to you too. But I mean, eh, you really should have. Even though I have read online about them supposedly going to add like a location where you can edit your character, and they are going to add in third person so you can see your character as well. Has been uh commented on,
Although I
and
kind although I kind of see why they went first person, because character immersion, like if you think about a character immersion, let's get into that real quick. The one thing they had right was going first person in this game, because character immersion meaning like you're there and you feel like you're there in the environment, you know. Whereas third person, you're kind of like third party to the environment. Versus if you're first person, you're immersed, you're up front and close and personal. You know, it's a little different than when you're third person. Like the immersion level is different.
there
I
are
see why they did that.
there are certain times where you actually are in third person. When you're driving a car, you could switch it to so you are in third person. When you're riding a motorcycle as well, you're also looking at you also in third person. Um,
Which, granted, is a small portion of the game.
it is.
It's a very small portion of the game. For those who are going to ask, that is a very small portion of the game. Not going to be something you're going to see regularly. You're going to be more focused on looting than you are going to be driving vehicles. Outside of now, let's leave the good of this game. This game has more bad than it does have good. Okay, let's start with glitches before we even head into bugs. The glitches are overwhelming in this game. I've seen people drive through a box. I've seen people falling through the map. I've seen people, even for myself, I've had issues where, like, I was on a motorcycle and I on a street. It looked like I hit an invisible wall. My guy went flying off the bike. Um, I've seen people when they were doing the mission with um Pan Am, they were driving the bikes, and all of a sudden their personal character ended up on Pan Am's bike. Your bike was parked, and Pan Am was in the sky.
I seen one where that I experienced where the your partner you're starting out with Jackie he takes you to this fixer to help the just you see to fix something, and he sits down in a chair, and when you come back out for some reason he's sitting in the air and not in the chair, and it's you kind of like, whoa, what happened there, and he's talking to you, and it's like dude, you're in the air, what's going on here, like kind of pull like a Matrix kind of move.
And then I've only seen this one only happen to people who are running old gen consoles now, because obviously we have new gen consoles. Um, they go into the middle of a crowd, they start firing their gun, and all the NPCs are T posing.
Actually, not seen that one. I heard about it, but I never really seen it.
I've seen one um, where this dude is just driving his bike, and out of nowhere an accident happens. He turns around, and you got three cars spinning in the air, and you got cars flying from the sky.
I had it happen where
How?
I hit the car in front of me when I was driving, and my car like flew in the air, and it made no sense how that happened. It the glitches in this game. They're just too many, and they're very very bothersome. And
This game could have used 6 months, if not more, before release. 6 months would have gone a long way. This game would have been better off. It would have been more accepted.
from what I've read, and there was a quote from the developers of this game that this game was supposedly to be released in 2022. It was not supposed to be released till then. That's when they were expected to release it, and that's what the developers are working towards. They were not expecting it until they were told that they wanted to release this game last year, and they felt that that was a mistake to do, and well, they were right. It was a mistake to release this game as early as they did. Um, Now talking about bugs, well, actually, before we get more into bad area, let's get one more good thing about this. You have mods as well in this game that you can customize with your character. Um, to add, you got add strength. You also have other things to add weaponry to your make yourself a little bit more of a weapon. Um, more abilities to hack things and different ways to actually help you in battle and throughout the story and throughout the open world activities you're doing. Um, that's actually a great aspect of this game.
Which are totally not necessary to complete the game.
It's not necessarily, but it does help.
For those who want to explore that route, yes,
Yes,
it
it does help.
does.
To me, and I did read up on this game that it was one of the games that was inspiration for this game was Deus Ex. So people that have played Deus Ex, this game gives you kind of a bit of a feel when you look at the mods and stuff. You get that feel of the Deus Ex games. For those who have played them, I've played them, so it gave me that feel of of playing that game again. On with the bad stuff, we got a lot of major bugs. Stars here, he's experienced the one where the game would crash and restart his console.
I've had
Then
it where it would crash my whole console. It would crash to the main dashboard of the PS5. I've had it uh, crash and freeze and not do anything, completely, basically brick my console to where I have to literally unplug my console, which is completely dangerous. Don't advise that to anyone. Do not unplug your console unless absolutely necessary. It's just like a PC. If it's on, do not take the power out unless you've shut the computer off. Um, Outside of just hard crashing of my console, I haven't experienced half of the stuff that you see with the older gen consoles. The textures not loading in, um, functionality just not being there. There, this game was just not ready. I think this game at best would have been summer of 2022 it to be fully polished out before release. But there's no one to blame here besides the main people, which are the investors and the CEO of CD Projekt. They are the blame for this game. The developers are not. They worked their hardest to make sure you guys got this game. Do not hate the developers. Hate the people who pushed for this game to come out way sooner than it needed to be.
yes, if you saw the comments from the developers, they did say that they advised them not to release this game as soon as they wanted to. That this game should be released at the normal release date that they had expected, which was 2022, which is when they were going to release it. That was what the developers had said it to and were going by and advised numerous times. Um, from many articles and videos, we've seen the CEO of Project Red. He's apologized. He's said what they're going to do, how they're gonna fix it, and the timeline and everything. We saw that supposedly Hopefully,
Well,
hopefully,
patch 1.1 did come out, and I don't know if you are aware of this or people who are watching are aware of this. They patched a bunch of stuff and it broke more stuff. So we'll see how long it's going to take for them to get this game to where it needs to be. I'm willing to put money on this one. This game will not be ready for DLC one, which is projected this summer. And then we're supposed to get the PS5 Series X and Series S upgrades. This game isn't even ready, man. This game can you imagine how crappy this game is going to play if they don't get these bugs ironed out before the release? Their biggest mistake was trying to downsize and downscale the PC version so it could play on console. Anyone that knows engineering for gaming knows that is the wrong way to do it. They should have been two separate builds. CD Projekt Red has the team for it. They're not a small team. And
so
they had all these promises that we're not going to have crunch and we're not going to do this. And this game wasn't even ready. They were crunching. Did the total opposite of the type of team that the CEO said that they were and what they were promising. All the stuff that they showcased, just like it came to light. Everything that they showcased in the 2018 E3 was fabricated.
it's true. That came to light.
So clearly, there's a lot of backhouse work that needs to be done. The CEO needs to let the developers take their time, let them get this game back on track, and hopefully they can redeem themselves when that next gen patch comes out. Because I'm telling you this right now, no one's buying this game anytime soon, regardless of the network that it's being sold on.
Well, so far from what I've seen, it's not in the PlayStation Store, not yet. It's not in the Xbox Store from what I've seen. I don't think yet, unless they brought it back. Um,
GameStop has already said that if all the return copies are coming back and they're refunding, they want a refund from CD Projekt Red.
yeah, I saw that article too. So
They, they
there's
they
no.
really need to just sit back now, let the developers do their job, get this game back on track, and hope that maybe when it is time for this game to hit the market again, that when at that time you have people who are reviewing the game again and giving their honest impressions of the game, hopefully they can redeem themselves and hope that the people who are reviewing their game can get people to come back and buy their game. Because if not, it's a flop, and you know what? It takes down on their integrity. We're talking about the game that made The Witcher 3, which to a lot of people, that game is a masterpiece.
Yeah, they really had a letdown with this game. From only way to be able to actually get this game from what I've seen is actually through Amazon if you want to buy the game. But I really
If you are looking for it, try places like Amazon, eBay. Try alternative services. Just you're not gonna be able to find it on the PlayStation Store. You're not probably gonna be able to find it on the Xbox Store. You're probably not gonna be able to find it on Steam. Not 100% on that one because I don't really shop for games on Steam.
but
Um,
I really don't recommend buying the game at this moment. Save your money. Wait till they fix all the problems they have with this game.
to be honest though, this isn't a game. To be honest, if all bugs aside and glitches, this game, if all of these never existed, this game is totally a $60 game. If
Oh yeah.
to me, they could easily sell it for the $17 price mark.
Oh yeah.
But with bugs, this game, like if it were to stay in its current state, I wouldn't buy this game for even $20. I'd buy this game for like $15.
So from the timeline that we see that CD Projekt Red CEO was put out, as Stars pointed out as well, first DLC is supposed to come out during summertime. But from what we've seen in a lot of comments we've seen from other gamers and online and everything, they're doing some patches here and there, but it's causing more issues, and other bugs are starting to pop up, and there's other problems around in the game as well. And it doesn't seem like this game is going to be ready and better anytime soon, and probably not even by the summertime when the supposed first DLC is going to come out. It just doesn't
If
look like it.
if I want to be optimistic about this, they could totally do it if they allow their developers to just do their job. Don't be involved. Step back. We're talking about the corporate heads of CD Projekt Red. Step back. Let your developers work. Don't ask them for nothing. Just make sure that they're doing their job. They're I hate the word crunching because to me there's two different terms of crunching. Let them nail at this job. Get this game back on track so that way you can start making money. Back off of them. Let them do their job. Let them prove why Cyberpunk could be a 9 or 10 on a Metacritic score. Right now, this game doesn't even belong in that category ever in this current state. It couldn't even place a 9 if you paid for it. Just back off of them. Let the developers work. Outside of the developers, I don't know what they were thinking. This game was clearly going to be better than this because they did not have faith in what their developers had in mind, which was a 2022 release. They didn't give them that. They were like, "No, you're dropping this in the holiday of 2021. That's when we want it." They need to get this game back on track. Hopefully, they can get this game back on track before DLC 1. I'm I hate having like an intuition, but I think this game's gonna bomb, dude. At this point,
Well, yeah, because
I'm like,
we were from also as well from a leak of a guy who went into the game's data and was looking at the files. He saw that there's going to be a multiplayer aspect to this game. That could have been probably going to be part of the first DLC, which is I'm assuming as much.
no,
If
this was scheduled. It was scheduled on the fourth DLC. The first three DLCs are supposed to be continuations off the story of getting to know Johnny Silverhand, from what I read. But who knows what they have planned?
and yeah, who knows what they haven't? But I do know that there was supposed to be multiplayer coming to
But
the game.
multiplayer will be coming. I
Uh,
hope.
when
I
it
hope
when it does,
that.
we'll be dropping a video for that to review that as well. See, probably not going to be anytime soon, depending on how they're going with their fixes right now.
And that's if they don't pull their whole team off for The Witcher 4, which for a lot of people is highly anticipated.
So we'll see.
So
We'll see throughout this year how Cyberpunk goes and how they progress and hopefully by summertime maybe make this game everything that it was supposed to be.
hopefully,
Hopefully. The two-man crew's official appraisal for this game is
a 4.
Yep. Thanks for watching this video. Comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll get back to you with more content.
Make sure you hit that notification bell. Until then, see you next time.